welcome everyone. I'm going to be interviewing Jess Pita, and she's going to enter the room in a few moments, and we're going to talk about being visually impaired in the festive season. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you so much for having me here. I was actually really, really excited to come on today. Um, I had a few technical difficulties, but it's okay. We thrive.
Yeah, and for all of us
Yeah.
visually impaired doing Zoom, we have turns to press the wrong buttons and to, lose ourselves in cyberspace. And I think that's a fun
Yeah,
that we can do it together. And you know what? We can't even see what's on the screen between me and you.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, so for those who are visually impaired, I've got a red top on with like a white, very white hair, but I've got a white Christmas hat on today.
So I'm wearing a white top with some, I think it's red writing on if you can see it in the camera view, with a red cowgirl Christmas hat. So yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, all right, let's go for it. So, Jess, tell me a little bit about your story of visual impairments.
Okay, so at the age of 11, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor actually, because I always had suffered with like really bad headaches and migraines. So
Yeah.
I went for hundreds of tests, and doctors were always like, you know what, you can come for more and more tests, but we're not going to actually know what's causing these headaches. So then eventually, at the age of 10, I was told that I needed reading glasses, and maybe that would help my headaches go away. But then at the age of 11, I went for a checkup because my headaches were still coming. So we didn't know if I needed a stronger lens. And then that was when the optometrist picked up that my optic nerve was swollen. And she was like, no, I think you need to go to a specialist, like ASAP. So then we went to a specialist and he used the fancy machines to look into my eyes and whatever. And then he's like, no, you have a brain tumor and you need to get it removed now. Otherwise, you have 6 to 12 months to live. So
Wow.
then yeah,
That's quite
it was
something to
pretty,
literally wrap your head around. I mean, someone tells you you got a brain
yeah,
tumor. It's like, nah, huh? What?
yeah. My mom was in shock because it was only me and her that went to this appointment. And it was quite late in the afternoon, and she was like very determined to know what's happening. So she was like, I'm not leaving here until we know what's happening. So I was booked in for like CAT scans, MRI scans, and then we found out that it was a brain tumor. So I was booked into hospital like 2 or 3 days later. And then that was on the Friday, and then the next Tuesday I was prepped for surgery, and I went in. It was an 11-hour surgery, and then they removed the tumor successfully, but it had caused so much swelling on my optic nerve because, well, it was both optic nerves from both eyes, and the tumor kind of sat in the middle of the crossing where the two optic nerves cross. So it had caused swelling, and then that permanently damaged my eyesight. So then I was proclaimed legally blind with optic atrophy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and
Yeah.
this is for people who are watching who don't know a lot about visual impairment. So sometimes the impairment is actually in the eyes. Sometimes it's to do with the lens and the corneas and things that go wrong. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
the retina of the eye, and sometimes it's the brain, and sometimes it's the brain's ability to process the information. But Jess, wow, that's quite something. It's a miracle that you're here. So yeah, we love miracles in the festive season.
Exactly. Yes,
Oh,
I
and
agree.
you're
I
here to
agree.
tell the story. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit later about how you're using this as a platform, to
Mm,
share a message. And but
yeah.
just tell me, what are the things that you love about the festive season?
Oh my goodness. I love cookies and baking. It's like a tradition where my family, like, we bake hundreds of cookies because we're Portuguese. So,
Blood. That's in the
uh,
blood. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, but I think, yeah, just that, and then always being around family, Christmas carols, everything's just so jolly and happy, I guess.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about yours?
Is it? Yeah, I love just the fact that there's a change of pace. I mean, obviously it's chaotic leading up to these occasions, and we think, why on earth do we do this to ourselves? And yet, when you're sitting
Yeah.
around with family and friends playing stupid games, and and just having a laugh and catching up, and knowing that this one's probably going to drink too much, and that one's going to,
Yeah.
socially appropriate. It's just like, welcome. Families are dysfunctional. Let's do
Yeah,
dysfunction together and enjoy ourselves.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love how every family has a culture of how they celebrate. And I just
Yeah.
something that, I just think for everyone to be intentional, whatever they celebrate, to do that for the next generation, give them some kind of, thing to hold on to as well as to who they are and where they belong in society. So tell me, what do you find confusing about, is there anything that gets a little bit more confusing in the festive season for you?
Maybe in regards to, putting up the tree and stuff, just everything being so, like, we're always so excited because we always put up a tree as a family, I guess. This is one of the things that's probably confusing. So like, everything's all over the place. There's Christmas carols going, there's boxes around, there's decorations all over the place. And I think that's probably the most confusing thing, is just trying to figure out where and what everything is, just to I don't know, maybe putting the bubbles on the tree, like the Christmas decorations, making sure that there's not too many of the same color in the same places.
Exactly. So it's like
hooking on
visual clutter then, visual clutter.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, maybe getting the full impact of all the decorations, not being able to see all of that. Even when you go out to like Melrose Arch or Empress Palace, where they have all those Christmas lights and stuff going on, sometimes it's a bit confusing there, because there's so many people, it's so dark, but then you can kind of make out the lights. So
and then sometimes people are walking with head torches or whatever, and they shine in your eyes, and then you can't see for the next 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And like, oh, let me help you, show you some light, and excuse me, you just blinded me, but thank you for the help.
Exactly.
For me, the most securing part of when I'm walking is seeing the skirtings or that change of color between the floor and the wall. That just makes me actually, I'm balanced. I'm standing in the middle. I can orientate my body. And when there's so many people, I just don't know where stuff is.
That's true.
And my kids actually taught me. They said, "Mom, close your eyes and just go blind." So I think that's where low vision and confusing vision, that is the best thing. So especially if I'm if I'm using my mobility cane, which I basically do now all the time, even when I'm familiar with the environment, is just close my eyes. I've got my cane usually with somebody else, and just hold tight and let me enjoy the peace.
Exactly.
Just go for it. I think buying gifts for me is a little bit of a stress. I don't know about you, but looking is not our strong point.
And especially when you're going shopping and you have somebody with you, and then you need to buy a gift for that somebody, but then they're always constantly with you.
Exactly. Anyway, that's what I love about the mobility cane, is that, not does it help me, but it also helps other people know why I'm asking for help. When I'm saying,
that's true.
Where can I find this set of storybooks? And they're like, it's next to your right shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we got to laugh at it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So okay, and Jess, have you got any kind of message that you'd give to someone who's new to visual impairments, especially young people?
Well, I think from my own experience, when you are new to being visually impaired, I think the best thing is to just make sure you find somebody that you can trust to maybe assist you or help you in all different kinds of situations. But the best thing is just don't panic and don't freak out, because it may seem like it's, dark and nothing's going to be okay, but sure, there's something going wrong, but it'll work out. There's always something that will go in your favor. So it's not all bad, but just go with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great message. It's like you got to look for that hope, look for the thing that is going right. And do that. Oh, that's wonderful. And then Jess, what are you up to? I know you were doing a podcast or something. Where can people get hold of you or follow you?
Yeah, I did. I had a podcast going. I started that about 5 years ago. So that's called Flying Blind. And I also do content creating on Instagram, also to spread awareness and everything based on visual impairments. And that account is x_flyingblind_x. And then it's the same handle on TikTok. And then on Facebook, also Flying Blind. And then my Gmail, if anybody needs to ask me anything, is flying1blind@gmail.com.
That is brilliant. Flying blind. And I just trust that everything you're doing will literally take off, that you would that you would feel carried on the
Yeah.
wind. Yeah. And I think it's so important because, there's a vast community of us out there with visual impairment, and this
Yeah.
low vision, you're not yet blind. The blind was a little bit scary because it's going. And
Yeah.
how to be present in where you're at the moment. And I think it's so important what you're doing to increase awareness. And I'm grateful. And if there's anything, in your generation that you could learn to teach us, I think you guys carry gifts of, you're born, if I could say, digitally aware.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you technology, native to technology. Where some of us are sort of on the edge, keeping up with the edge of this fourth industrial revolution. So definitely there's some learnings we can get from you, and also encourage young people to reach out. There are other people who live their lives along with this. Many people have gone blind, but they've been through that low vision process, and
exactly.
there's a lot of hope to be had. So to everyone listening, however you celebrate the holidays, according to your culture or religion or whatever, I just want to say that in the season, may you find that light, as Jess said, that you see light when it is dark. For people who are lonely this Christmas as well, or in the festive season, to also see if you can find some kind of joy within the trials, because, the world is chaotic at the moment. And, I just also wish for everyone if we can all find an inner peace amidst the chaos. And in our family, we always leave like an occasion or something with a prayer or a blessing. And I was thinking of the words of the Christmas carol. So for Jess, for you, and for any of our listeners as well, is from that Christmas carol, it says, may the hopes and fears of all your years be met, whatever, in truth, tonight or today, whatever you're watching. And I think that's what low vision, it's about hopes and fears.
Yes, that's true.
We can see, and yet you've got this fear, like, what's my future going to look like?
Exactly.
But it's about gift. So like Kung Fu, they say in Kung Fu Panda, what did they say?
The
past is behind us, the future, whatever, and it's the present.
And the present is the gift or something.
And that's why it's called the gift. It's the present. Anyway, so much for not preparing a famous quote. But
there we go.
But anyway, we did it. So high five to you, Jess.
High five.
And it's been fun.
Yeah, this has been very, very fun.
All right. So bye, everybody, and have a really happy festive season.
Yeah, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy. Bye.
Bye.